There's two schools out of two thoughts of or schools of thought out there at the moment, getting a bit tongue twisted there. One saying that the NSE is targeting the 4,000 mark. The other more cautious, saying that that's a bit too optimistic at this stage of the game. What's your view on the markets?
Well, I'm the perennial optimist. But at the end of the day, I think it's not going to be as fast as most people are seeing it. I think maybe towards the end of the year, maybe. But for now, what we're looking at is a myriad of factors. Of course, the results coming in are one factor. Foreign investor activity is another factor. And also the political environment is also another factor. But I believe that if we go ahead and sort most of our issues, internal issues, then it's going to reach the 4,000.
Well, as you say, for now, it's earnings reports that's keeping things ticking. We saw numbers out of KCB this morning. Your overall reaction to those numbers?
Well, it was expected. I think KBC have gone more, they've done quite well in terms of continuing to give out loans, and also they've done quite well in reining in their loan book. And I think we saw that happen with Barclays, and I think they also saw a very good interest income on their books. And I think they have realized that right now, especially with their systems, because they had issues with their back-end systems, they have seen that that is an issue that they need to concentrate on, and also to consolidate their regional position rather than continue with the outright expansion. So I think they're doing the right thing at the moment. I think they are in the investors' good books at the moment. Keeping the dividend there was a good move as well.
Having said that, though, I mean, what have you made of the plan then to raise 15 billion shillings in debt and equity to fund further expansion in the region?
They definitely need it. I mean, look at their main competitors, especially Equity. They've got a lot of funds, they've got a lot of capital that they can invest, and that without getting additional equity, KCB would find themselves on the back foot. And I think if they're going to stand up there and fight the big boys, then they really do need to shore up their capital. They've come in with rights issues in the last few years, I think 2 or 3 times, and these have been quite successful. But I believe that they came in and collected less, added additional capital than they actually needed. So they need to actually resolve that matter once and for all, raise enough so that they can be able to sustain the growth that they are targeting in the region.
In the meantime, Samuel, Unga also out with numbers. First half pre-tax profit surging. I mean, the company's reported a 335% jump in pre-tax profit thanks to rising turnover and then stronger regional currencies as well. Are you impressed with that growth? You've got to be.
Well, we are. You'll notice that there is a lot of impressive results coming from very unlikely sections. We saw, for example, we saw Mumias. We've been seeing the agriculturals doing very well, and now Unga. And the thing is, if anything that is connected to foreign exchange and also to agriculture and anything that had anything to do with inflation will have done unexpectedly over the last year. So I think most of these stocks will tend to give us such results, but I think at the end of the day, the financial sector is the pointer to what is happening in the economy, and that's the one to concentrate on at the moment.
Just very quickly, Samuel, I mean, the company mentioned that it was the waiver on import duty on maize during the first half of the financial year that was crucial. I mean, the reinstatement of that duty will result in significant increases in finished products moving forward. What's your outlook for that for the company, given that sits on the horizon?
Well, I think that They need to sit down with the policy makers and find a way that they have sustainable policy coming out, which does not keep changing year in, year out, and therefore affects their bottom line. I think at the end of the day, one year we hear this, the next year there is taxes on something else, and I think that having a long-term policy would help in getting a sustainable and a sort of framework which keeps stability in profits, and that way we can be able even to predict what's going to happen.